Hey everyone, and welcome back to Carmona Homeschool of 3. Today we're going to be talking about poetry curriculum. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. First off, let me say, I am no pro at poetry. I barely remember learning poetry in school. The one memory I do have, and it's a very faint, distant memory, probably from about 3rd or 4th grade, is that I loved when we learned how to write poetry and the teacher was like, the words at the end need to rhyme. And I was coming up with all kinds of silly words that rhymed in the ends of the sentences of the poems. So I definitely wanted to implement this into our homeschool this year to teach my going to be 3rd grader some poetry and to read some poetry to both the girls in the morning. This will probably be something that's part of our morning basket. So we'll see how that goes. If I can get that put together, I'll try to get a video done on that. But today we're talking about poetry. So I'm going to share with you the books that I've picked up to read to the girls and the books that I've picked up for us to use as the curriculum. So you definitely do not need to add poetry into your homeschool. Don't feel like just because you see me adding poetry in that you need to add poetry in. I have not added poetry in. My daughter's going to be in 3rd grade this year, and we haven't done any kind of poetry. I didn't read any poetry last year. We didn't talk about it, nothing. So don't feel like you have to add in poetry just because you see it here or anywhere else on YouTube. But I definitely wanted to add some of this in. I thought it would just be something fun to add to our morning time and something to help my 3rd grader get some more writing skills in. So I'm going to show you the books that I picked up on Amazon. This is the first one I got, and I'm going to say I was a little disappointed from the title of the book. I was going for a book that I could read one poem a day to the girls throughout the entire year. So I found this book called A Year of Nature Poems. I hope it's not too bright and that you can see that. But it's definitely, as you can see, not a thick book, and definitely there's not going to be a poem to read a day. So what it means by a year of nature poems is it has a poem for every month. All of the titles are months. So you can see here. It goes by months, and don't get me wrong, it is a beautiful book. I love the cover. I have not read any of the poems, but I did flip through it. So here's the first page here. So this is January, and they're decent sized poems too. Most of them take up both pages, so that's kind of nice. So they're long, but this is definitely not going to be a poem a day, which is what I was looking for. I was inspired by another homeschooling mom here on YouTube to add poetry in this year, but she had shown a book. I can't remember what the title of the book was called. A song. Something. I'll leave the book down in my Amazon store. All of my books can be found in my Amazon store that I purchased. But anyway, I was inspired by her because she had picked up a book off Amazon that was literally a poem a day. It was a year of poems in the book, and it was a thick book. And I honestly, it was on sale when she did the video, and it was on sale for $25, originally $40. And I was like, I still can't pay $25 for a book. I can't. So I found this book, and it was $10. And I thought, wow, what a great deal. A year of poems for $10. But definitely it's not a year. Again, I have not read the poems, but I do think the illustrations are beautiful. It's a beautiful book. So I mean, if you want just another another poetry book that you can read maybe once a month, you could pick this one up. But I'm definitely excited to read this one. It definitely looks like a beautiful book to read. So I'm excited about that. The next one that I have here is actually a book that was given to us when Jocelyn was little by my grandmother. This one's called A Family of Poems. Now, I've probably read a poem or two to Jocelyn out of this book, but other than that, I have not read anything, and so I'm super excited to dig into this one. This one's a little bit thicker. I'll see if I can find this one on Amazon, but I do know that this has really pretty illustrations as well, like watercolor illustrations. And so I'll add this into our poetry time as well. It is a little bit loved here, a little torn, but that is all right. That's what happens to books when you love them. So the next one I am super excited about, and I definitely thought this would be a fun way to do poetry. This is something I also want to add in really quick. If you notice, I don't have a ton of classical poetry. I'm not a super classical person. That's not my homeschool style. That's not my learning style. That's not my reading style. I don't love old writing. It's not my favorite, and so you're not going to find that kind of poetry here. I'm a little more modern and a little more fun. So I found this book, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This is poetry of Mr. Rogers, and I thought, how perfect, how fun for my 3-year-old, and I bet you she's gonna love this. I got this on sale on Amazon as well for I think $9, and it's also got really cute illustrations. Let me see if I can open it up to one here. So definitely a fun little book that I am super excited about reading. I used to love watching, I can't think of the name. So anyway, I used to love watching this show. And I'm super excited to read these poems to the girls. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to have my 3-year-old do any poetry curriculum. She can't write yet and not fully write sentences yet or anything like that. So she's not going to have any curriculum. But I did go ahead and pick up 2 workbooks. Now this one is something I've been wanting to buy for a long time. This is the Evan Moore Writing Poetry with Children. And it's from grades 1 to 6. I have not really skimmed through it, so I don't really know how it works, broken down by grades, because from 1 to 6, that's a pretty wide age range there, so I'm not sure how it's broken down into grades, but it looks like levels. So it's got a topic, and it gives you level 1, level 2, level 3. But I just thought this would be really great. It teaches you how to write specific types of poems, poems about certain topics. I think there were also some little pages, like prompts, not prompts, but templates, some little templates here for the poems. So that's really fun, so that they have some nice fun paper to write our poem on. So I got that one, and I actually got this on sale. I don't know if it's going to be on sale by the time you see this video, but Evan Moore was having a sale, and this was only $4.75, originally $16.99, so I was like, steal, so I grabbed that. I also got this, is by Evan Moore as well. This is the Read and Understand Poetry. Now, I really love these workbooks. I haven't gone through them, but I love them because of the way they place the grade levels on them. So they have 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3, and then 3 to 4. So my daughter's going into 3rd grade, and I was going to get the 2 to 3, but I thought, you know what, she's already out of 2nd grade. We can continue to work on poetry through 4th grade. So I got grade level 3 to 4 for her, and it is a little more writing. It looks like a little more reading as well, because what this is I believe is you read a poem, and then they have some questions about the poem, so understanding the poem. So you have some multiple choice questions, and then some fill in the blank problems here or questions here. And then I love this, look. Black is beautiful. So anyway, I thought this would be a fun little workbook. This was also on sale when I picked it up, so it was a really great deal. But this is all we're using for poetry, and like I said, this will probably be something we do in the morning. And I do want to say that I feel really, even just sitting here filming this video, I'm going to be totally, completely transparent, totally honest right now. I feel a little insecure talking about poetry because I don't know much about it. Like I said, I don't remember learning about writing poetry. I don't remember learning about, the proper way to write different haikus and limericks and things like that. Like, I don't remember any of that. But the fun and beautiful thing about homeschool is that you are learning right along with your children. So I'm going to learn what a haiku is. I'm going to learn what a limerick is. I'm going to learn all these beautiful poetry forms and words and all the glorious poetry. Okay, you guys. So you're not going to find a professional on this channel. Yes, I am going into my 5th year of homeschooling, but I never fully feel like I know everything, and you won't. That's the reality. But what you will find here is encouragement. Encouragement to try to step out of your box a little bit, to give yourself, to give yourself a little bit of grace, and to know that you're going to learn right along with your babies. And that's the beauty of homeschooling. If you don't know, look it up, research it, buy some beautiful books on it. Don't be scared to teach your child something that you would be teaching yourself in the process as well. Like, that's part of life. We learn as we go, and then we teach, and we can learn with our children as we teach them from the book. So I just love that. I love that that's a beautiful and a huge part of homeschooling. So never be afraid to add something that you don't fully understand into your homeschool. I am no pro on poetry. I honestly don't even know where to start. This is where I'm starting, with 3 poetry books, and 2 workbooks, and that's where we're going to start. We're going to do it in the mornings, a little bit at a time, and we're going to go from there. So I hope that gives you some encouragement to add some fun things into your homeschool that maybe you're not completely feeling like you know how to teach fully, but don't let that stop you. Add it in anyway and learn as you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one.